Micah 5 verse 2. But you, Bethlehem Ephratah, though you are small among the clans of Judah, out of you will come for me one who will be ruler over Israel, whose origins are from ancient times. So is Ephratah the place where the Messiah was born?
Ephrat.
Ephrat.
More or less the same location. There's a lot of biblical history in Judea and Samaria. That's what the Bible calls this place. It's Judea and Samaria. So basically, before Bethlehem was the birthplace of Yeshua, we read that from up here, Samuel gets sent down there to a guy called Jesse, and he is told to anoint a young guy that by the name of David that's eventually going to become the king. Below Bethlehem, there's another city by the name of Hebron, and I like this word in Hebrew. It's called Chevron. It comes from the root friend, chaver. So it reminds me of Abraham. You know, Abraham buys a tomb here for his wife, and we know that the two brothers, Isaac and Ishmael, had some issues. They didn't get along too well. But their friendship ends in unity when they finally bury their father together in Hebron.
So there's hope for the Arabs and the Jews.
For sure.
So what other things of biblical importance happened in Judea and Samaria?
Well, if you look north from Bethlehem, you have Jerusalem, right? Jerusalem is the city of all cities, very important. And above that is Bethel. That's your place.
Huh?
Yeah, you remember that story of Jacob that dreams at night and he sees a ladder and he sees angels going up and coming down?
Oh, yeah?
That's Bethel. He wakes up, he realizes, wow, this is the house of God. That's what Bethel means. So that's just a little bit north from Jerusalem. And then there's another place called Shiloh. And Shiloh is where the tabernacle stood for about 369 years. So a place of huge importance for the Israelite history. And then the place north of that is Shechem, or in a modern language it's called Nablus. Shechem is where Abraham builds his first altar when he comes into the promised land. And the bones of Joseph is also buried there. Yeah, so you can see all these places are of great importance to ancient Israel history, and all of those are in the Westbank today. Now let me show you how the Westbank looks. Jerusalem is not in the Westbank, but for the rest the shape is more or less like the Dead Sea, like a long face, a hook nose and an open mouth. That's the shape of the Westbank, and this road is called the Patriarchal Highway. So that's of great importance to the Jewish people. Today there are big cities, Palestinian cities like Nablus, Jenin, Ramallah, that is in this area, and a lot of Arab villages as well. But you can think there's many Jewish people that live here too, and they feel it's the heartland of Israel. Can you imagine the emotions and the conflict of Jewish people who say, well, this is our ancient forefathers' inheritance, and Arab people who say, but you were out of the country for so many years and you took the very house and the fields of my father and my grandfather. The situation is really complex, and my counsel to you is not to pick up the offense of either side. Many of the Jewish and the Arab people have been friends for years, and if we do not interfere with their domestic situation, if we leave them to themselves, they will find solutions to work out the problems amongst themselves. Pray for them. One last thing. Have you noticed all the stone quarries in the area of Ephrat? Well, the Bible calls this area the mountains of Israel. If you read in Ezekiel 36 you will see. Look on this relief map, you will see that right down the spine of the country there is a dome of Sinomanian limestone, and this is the area called the Mountains of Israel. From Jerusalem south is Judea, and from Jerusalem north is Samaria. In terms of elevation, it's really important for Israel's security, but it's also agriculturally a very fruitful area. There's a lot of water, so there's a lot of crops and fields and orchards, and it's also very rich in biblical history, and it is a fantastic context of the ancient Promised Land setting.